What's up, guys? Just wanted to hop on here real quick. This is a very not high quality video. I just grabbed my phone and went onto the YouTube app and clicked record because I wanted to share a quick little story about what just happened. So I'm in kind of a weird part of town. I don't usually work out here too often. It's a city called Pontiac out here in Michigan. It's in the Detroit metro area. I don't ever go to Pontiac, and I never canvass in Pontiac because it's a rat hole. And I'm sorry if you live in Pontiac. I'm sorry if you live in Pontiac. It's not to be mean, but it's not like a nice area. You know what I'm saying? And I never work out here, but a customer that I do his restaurant, it's a Happy's Pizza. I do his restaurant, and he networked with another manager of another Happy's Pizza and got me another restaurant down here in Pontiac. It's about 20 minutes away from where I normally work. And so I'm like, oh, dude, I appreciate it. And I'm like, I don't ever work down there, but I'll make the trip because it's not a bad price. It's not a bad job, So I went down there. I get to I'm trying to find this place because everybody's crowded. The traffic is ridiculous. And the building is just gone. It's just non-existent. It's literally just a pile of rubble, which is like, if you've ever been in Detroit, it's not an abnormal sight. But I was kind of surprised since I talked to the lady, 2 to 3 weeks ago about doing this, that there's just no building. And so I was like, well, maybe they moved or something. So I searched more Happy's Pizza in the area, and sure enough, there was one about 2 miles down the road. So I went to that one, and that one actually was there. So it ended up being the right one. She said that building burned down and they had moved, so I just had the wrong location in my GPS. But anyway, I never work out here is what I'm trying to say. And that's one big reason why. It's because every other corner of the building is either empty or just like destroyed, and people don't want to pay for window. I mean, at least residential. I would say there's probably no residential work out here. But I never really considered storefronts because, I imagine it's kind of the same mentality. But anyway, so I did the storefront, pretty good account, got them every other week. And it's in the strip mall, and the city's 20 minutes outside of where I normally go, my boundaries. So I'm like, I'm not going to drive 20 minutes. Look at this. I don't know if you saw that. There's just some guy in his front yard with no shirt on. You probably couldn't see it. It's a shame. But anyway, so I don't come out here too often for work, and I don't look for work out here. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna have one account here, I'm gonna have to make a little bit more money to make it worth it to keep coming out here. So it's in a strip mall. So I'm walking the strip mall, and I'm trying to get some jobs. First one, actually, I got it. It's like a tobacco shop. It's like quick $10, but it's another $10 to, for my gas to drive out here more. So I was happy about that. Went down the line in the strip mall, nothing, and I got to this Detroit, or not Detroit. It's a Red Wing boot store. I said Detroit because Detroit Red Wings is a hockey team, but it's a Red Wing boot store. So I'm like, oh, these guys will probably have a window cleaner because most of those places usually do. And I stopped in. I'm like, hey, there's a guy in there, and he's like, hey, you need some boots today? I was like, not today, but maybe later. So I asked him. I was like, hey, you the owner? And he says, nope. And I could tell he was kind of lying because he just didn't want to deal with me. And I was like, you the manager, boss, whatever? He's like, well, I'm here a lot. Basically, I give him my spiel. I'm like, look, I do a couple stores down right next door to you here. I noticed you got some dirty windows. I clean windows. Why don't you let me clean them every other week for $25? And he's like, no. And I'm like, really? It's not worth it to you? Because he mentioned that he did it. And I'm like, it's not worth it to save your back every other week? I'll take care of them. You don't have to worry about it. And then he gets quiet, he gets kind of quiet. I'm like, oh, I think he's getting annoyed with me at this point. And he's like, what you guys do is the easiest way to make a quick buck. He's like, other people come in here and they say they'll do it for $10. And I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, but they're probably never going to show up again. And I was like, so that's how I try to differentiate myself is, I'm going to be here every other week when I say. And he just wasn't, he had it seemed like he had a really bad taste in his mouth for window cleaners. And it kind of hurt because he put me into that category of just trying to make a quick buck. I'm like, dude, I'm wearing a company shirt. I just handed you a business card. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And then I realized, oh yeah, I don't work in this area because this is what people do. They come in here and try to make a quick $10 so that they can buy their crack. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's no joke. Yeah, it's pretty rough. So anyway, I just figured it'd be worth sharing because window cleaning isn't a quick buck. People try to make a quick buck off of it, but it's like me and you, like, we know it's not, window cleaning is not a quick buck. And I'm curious if you've ever had somebody say that to you, like, kind of speak down to you, like, oh, what you're running right now is like the easiest way to make a quick dollar. And I got the ladder out of here because I haven't been using it too often, and now my little stool is bouncing around. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little experience because I'm kind of just like in the heat of the moment, and I wanted to talk about it with people who understand. So, alrighty guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching.